Haka Cantina Tortilla Chips proudly presents the Also Known For podcast, hosted by me, Thomas Ian Nicholas.
All right, so since we are here on the pilot episode of my first ever podcast, there's no one that I wanted as my first guest other than your favorite person, Jaret Reddick of Bowling for Soup.
Man,
So
I'm so honored. It's crazy.
you're my favorite person. You're everyone's favorite person.
Well, that is so kind. Man, I just appreciate it. This is so cool that you're doing this.
Well, I got to follow in the footsteps of greatness. We became friends because I was a guest on two of your podcasts.
That's right.
One of them that's not going anymore.
Right.
But I did a couple episodes of that. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I almost didn't do the podcast, but we'll get into that during the
before we
Fantastic
jump into
Failures
that,
segment.
but
Yeah.
You ended up on my podcast that is still going because you didn't do my other podcast.
Right.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Later. Exactly. Well, and then we almost started a podcast
Yeah.
called What the Hell is Wrong with Me? But
Right.
now that's going to become a segment of this one. I'm incorporating everything that is Jaret, which is why you had to be the first guest.
Yeah, I think our first phone conversation ever was just us going down this list of shit that was wrong with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That was how that incepted.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this finally came together because obviously we're both so busy.
Yeah.
You're, taking over the world, which we're going to get to in about 1 second.
Okay. We should point out that
Yes.
I am when I'm home, I am known for canceling things. And because I am exhausted, right? So I did a show Friday in Florida, then a show Saturday in Dallas, and yesterday all day setting up for my daughter's college graduation party, and then drank into the night. But I am here, and I'm like, I don't think I didn't think about it. If it weren't
Right.
you, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Listen, I knew you were going to show up for me, but I was like, damn it, we're asking him on a Monday.
Yeah.
I know what Mondays are like for me.
Yeah.
I am just as tired.
Yeah. Oh, you've got to be. Yeah. I mean, no, man, I am really glad that I came. First of all, this place is at Purposeful Productions is awesome. And, you picked a great spot to do your first episode, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you for removing yourself from your home
Right. Yeah.
today for us.
Yeah.
And, speaking of touring,
Yeah.
so look, Bowling for Soup started in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Same year I started playing guitar. That's a total separate side story.
Yeah.
You were nominated for a Grammy in 2003.
Yes.
You've been a rock star forever, but now suddenly you're playing some of your biggest shows.
Yeah.
And I know that's happening really in the UK.
Yeah.
Is that cumulative?
Yeah.
Like because you've been doing this for so long, or was there like some sort of caveat that sparked all of that?
Man, I think, and it's everywhere though. Like it's the United States. I mean, our shows aren't the caliber that they are in the UK, simply because the UK is more condensed,
Right.
So like you have access to more people, in a shorter span of time. But it takes us about 10 to 12 weeks to cover the United States, but our shows are still bigger here. But I think that there's a lot of things to be said for it. Nostalgia is a big part of it, and a lot of the kids that grew up listening to us in their parents' car are now having their own kids and bringing their kids to the shows, and just get 3 and 4 generations sometimes. And the resurgence of pop punk is huge. I mean, just the fact that Blink-182 are back, and you got new guys like MGK and bands such as yourself putting out more of like a pop punk leaning kind of thing. It's just a good time for it, and we're considered, I guess, ambassadors of the whole thing, and somewhat helped create the whole thing, which is an insanely it's a very, I know, again, I'm honored to be able to fly that flag. But yeah, and then all at once, Newfound Glory, Bowling for Soup, Simple Plan, Less Than Jake, Yellow Card, Story of the Year, all of us had 20th anniversary albums. And so it's sort of like this perfect storm right now. And so yeah, but I'm certainly enjoying it. Our biggest headline show ever will be December 13th at Wembley Arena, and that's just saying Wembley Arena to people, like even people that don't really know the music industry. When you say it, they're just like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah.
So,
No, even my son had that reaction when I texted you. I was like,
Yeah.
because his favorite band is Queen, which obviously played. You did identify that it wasn't Wembley Stadium.
not stadium. Yeah.
I saw you in the stadium. When I saw Wembley, I was like, they're in the stadium.
Oh my goodness,
'Cause-
that's wild.
But that's how big you are to me. So,
well, thank you, my friend. But yeah, I mean, maybe the stadium's next.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And so in the UK though, which I know, do you do the bar on stage in the US shows, or is that only in the UK?
Only in the UK. I mean, because the stages, the size of the stages change so much in the US. Like if you're at a House of Blues type thing or whatever, then we'd have room for it. But quite frankly, we don't really have the means to even carry it all. So
Right.
in the UK, the tour is like 4 buses and two trucks. It's just a lot more of us carrying our own production and stuff like that. And over here, it's a lot more in-house stuff. So we don't really get to do the bar on stage. I mean, we have done it, but it's not something that we carry with us.
But so just to explain, just like they have a bar on stage next to the band so that
Yeah.
all of us sitting side stage, friends
Yeah.
and family, can come and order a drink while Bowling for Soup is
Yeah,
playing.
they're encouraged to. We actually go to the opening bands and to everybody's guest list, and we're like, guys, we would please utilize the bar. We need patrons, and there's stools out there, so a few people at a time can sit at the bar, and yeah, it works really well. And
So are you doing that at Wembley Arena show?
Our Wembley Arena show is going to be a little bit different. Right now, my idea is to have bleachers on either side of the stage and have all of our guests seated on the stage watching the show. And I don't know if that's ever been done before. So
Should we have like flags? Because I'm going to be there.
Yo, you
of
gotta be
course.
there.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Should we have like flags, like Go Team, like Bowling for Soup?
That would be
like...
good. Or you're like your favorite member, just a little, like Go Gary, flag. But yeah, it's still, I kind of got to finish getting ready for this Simple Plan Bowling for Soup 303 Lolo tour that's starting in August, and then once I've got everything done for that, I'll start thinking about Wembley.
Yeah, I know. I saw the announcement with Simple Plan, and then
Yeah.
also you played a bunch of like the Warped Tour shows back in the day, and now Warped Tour is back, and you're doing a few of them, right? Or are you doing all?
We're doing all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. And we were one of the first bands to be asked. And Kevin Lyman, the creator, hit me up and he goes, you're one of the first bands I thought of because you can't have a party anymore without Bowling for Soup. And I'm
That's
like,
true.
man, again, I do agree, but I can't wait to do it, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Well, so like obviously, we talked about Blink 182, and Mark just wrote that book, Fahrenheit 182.
Mhm.
He talked about in there like there was a rivalry or like a bashing of egos with him and Green Day decades ago.
Yeah.
And obviously you're the nicest person that anyone knows. So I know you don't have a rivalry with anyone.
I don't.
Are there any did people come to you with rivalries that they had to like mediate that on Warped Tour? Because you seem like the person I would come to be like, help me, I'm having a problem.
Yeah, Ryan Key is mad at me. No, I actually tried to start a fake beef with Simple Plan. And I had this whole thing worked out to where we would like do diss tracks and stuff. And they're super, super sweet as well. And, they're French Canadian. And so like, I think sometimes my humor doesn't quite catch Chuck, the right way, and so he really like sort of thinks about what it is I'm saying. And he just came back to me and he goes, we could never say anything bad about Bowling for Soup. We just love you so much. And I had to take that to heart, and I really appreciated that. But it was during the MGK Eminem thing. And I was just like, dude, let's just start a beef and like start dissing each other. And people would pick up and run with it.
Oh, yeah. I had DM'd Pierre before this podcast to see if there was something that I could bring into this, but he didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
So.
Pierre's a slow texter, man.
Yeah.
He's there's bad texters in my life. My wife, my little brother, but Pierre is not a great texter. You got to always copy Chuck.
Fair. Well, I only met Pierre when we were young last year, so I didn't get a chance to say hi to Chuck. So I will fix that the next time that I see the band.
Great, but Pierre's a busy dude. He's a real hands-on dad, and he plays a lot of golf, and so he's one of my favorite people.
I'm going to have to ask like quintessential questions that are in your like pinned videos on TikTok, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we have to get into the name Bowling for Soup. Why is it called Bowling for Soup? Are you the age-old question? Are you bowling for soup to earn soup or on behalf of soup?
Well, the way that I said it was, first of all, the name comes from a Steve Martin album, Wild and Crazy Guy, where it's the one with the arrow through the head and the bunny ears. And He's working on a television show called Bowling for Shit. But what's crazy is that like George Carlin had a joke that he was doing, and his was Bowling for Pussy. And so all of these comedians in the 70s and 80s had these like play on basically Bowling for Dollars from the 60s, right? Ours was based on the Steve Martin thing, and it was just basically like, hey, let's just call our band Bowling for Shit. And our first ever show was a big city fireworks thing, and they were like, well, we can't print that. And so I like to say we took the hit out of shit. And then put the oop in the soup. But yeah, and so for years and years and years, people would, this it's a pinned video, I believe. I don't know if it still is. I know yours is.
It's the one where I
Favorite
asked
kind
you
of soup.
what kind of soup it is, and you
Yeah.
show a picture of cock soup.
Cock soup, a full cupboard full.
Full cupboard full, yeah.
But yeah, so this guy, Wiffle Ball Tony, did this tweet. And it's so simple. Just, are they bowling to earn soup or on behalf of soup? And that thing goes viral about every 9 to 10 months.
Right.
It comes back up again. And it's crazy to me that not everybody's seen it yet, because it'll be somebody from Wichita Falls that'll send it to me, and somebody that I'm related to will send it to me or whatever. But anyway, I finally answered it. And the way that we answered it was, it is our job. Bowling for soup is our job, so I guess it would be to earn soup. However, if soup ever needed us, we would be there on its behalf.
I see like all of you in like superhero capes bowling on behalf of soup.
Right. Yeah. Just like the Super Rob outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Killing with Kindness.
Killing with Kindness. Yeah.
So obviously, in top level sort of things, 1985, the song is to Bowling for Soup, kind of like American Pie is to me.
Yeah.
So that's like your American Pie.
Yeah.
And I know like I have gone online to defend people that think that you just did it as a cover.
Yeah.
Because it's not a cover. And I what is the whole story with that, being in the studio, doing A Hangover You Don't Deserve, being done with the album, and then
completely done. And then Butch Walker had produced our album before that, and had produced all the songs that he and I had written. So Almost, Trucker Hat, and Last Call Casualty. Butch had produced those songs, and then we just stayed at his studio and finished the record with his engineer Rusty. And Rusty and I produced that record, and then we produced the next record as well, Very Great Burrito Extortion Case. But we were done, and literally on the last couple of days of things, but as far as like the songs, they were there. And Almost would have been the first single, and I think it would have done well, but hindsight is 2020. We get sent this song from Butch's manager, and he's just like, "Hey, there's this Mitch Allen from SR71 is shopping for a solo deal, and he sends me this reel, and there's this song, and I just say to him, this isn't an SR71 song, this is a Bowling for Soup song, and so can I send it to you? Yeah, I'll take a listen to it." So I can't hear a hit, Tom. I can't. It's, again, like I had no idea "Girl the Bad Guys Want" was going to be a hit. I had no idea that. To me, Emily was the banger on that record, and I had no idea when I heard 1985. How could you know that song would be that big? The problem with it was there's a harshness to the SR71 version. They yell, "The rubber broke," and like sort of now the kids are accidents. You know what I mean? And it's like. They're that's their kind of band, they're like that, clean, that bitch, it's over, that's them. Like I'm more like, I don't really take shots unless it's like overtly funny. Right. And so I was like, I don't know, it's kind of sad. And so I called Mitch and I was just like, can I just rewrite some stuff on this? And he goes, take it, have it your way. So yeah, I rewrote the lyrics or whatever that really weren't as Bowling for Soupy, and the bridge. And as Mitch Allen tells the story, he says Jaret Reddick, with the stroke of a pen, turned it in from this great song into a massive hit. And so we consider it a collaboration. It used to bother me that people would call it a cover, and I just can't, I just can't really let it bug me. I mean, it's fine. Even if it is, who cares? I mean, the Atari's biggest hit is a cover, it's
Right.
like,
Well, but it's not just a, Bowling for Soup version of an SR-71.
right.
There was a collaboration in there. And
Definitely.
I just wanted to in
Yeah.
this moment set the
Yeah.
record straight because you've told me this story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like people miss out. So I want to make sure that, they hear it directly from you.
People want, when somebody just wants to tear us down because we're so, and I don't really understand it. I mean, I think we're a very nice band. We've never really made anybody mad, and so when somebody comes at us with like, oh, their biggest hits are a cover and a cartoon song, and it's like, I don't know. How's your band doing? I
Right.
mean, what do you want me to do?
I can vouch for you being the nicest person ever.
Well, thank you.
I mean, when I did, which again, I'll get into how that happened. But when I did the parody with you
Yeah.
of 1985, that moment really put me kind of under your wing and got me more accepted in the pop punk scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though, so here I am sort of validated by Jaret Reddick and Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
Even though I technically already had a connection to pop punk because of the American Pie
Of course.
soundtrack albums, but that was as an actor,
Yeah.
not as a musician.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Do you think that American Pie is synonymous with pop punk? Did we boost that genre, or did we ride their coattails?
No, I think it's no question that you did. I think that was important. And there was that other movie that Green Day had the song in. Gosh, I can't think of it right now, but there was a couple of things that happened like right at the same time where those those that kind of music was being used and featured, and it's sort of like the movie itself was kind of like a visual of a pop punk song,
Right.
like it's almost like that's the story we would be telling anyway, and so, but yeah, man, I definitely, I think they're kind of synonymous, as you would say. Like, I think when you think of if someone were to say, oh, what's the best like movie that's like sort of like represents the pop punk thing, I would definitely say American Pie.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, they only made one mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They didn't have a Bowling for Soup song on any of the soundtracks.
I totally agree with that.
If we do a fifth one,
Yeah.
that's going to be in my
You're
contract.
gonna go to bat for me?
I'm going to
Man.
put it in my contract. You're like, I will not sign this thing unless you put a Bowling for Soup song in the soundtrack.
I'll take it.
Quintessential pop
Yeah.
punk band.
You don't even have to give me a monkey.
Well, do you know that Crystal the monkey from American Pie is still alive?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the same monkey from Friends. They put
are you kidding?
They put the monkey in the movie. Chris Weitz had a theory that if you put a monkey as a cameo, the film would be successful. I should have put a monkey in Underdeveloped season 2.
Yeah.
But okay, so they might have made this mistake, but you've obviously, Bowling for Soup has been in tons of other soundtracks of films, either doing like an original Bowling for Soup song or a cover of something else that's super fun, like, Baby One More Time or I Melt With You. But then obviously you already mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. Your biggest soundtrack song is, of course, the theme song of Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, and it's topical. We're back. We're
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Absolutely.
So tell me the skinny, because I don't think a lot of people really know yet.
We're back for 40 more episodes, and yeah, I mean, it's I'm allowed to say that the theme song is back with one subtle change that I will not give you here, but
okay, that's fair.
It's very simple. Love Handle is back, and there's some really, really cool stuff happening, and there's a premiere coming up just in like the next 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
And,
where's it going to be?
It's in LA, and so I can't go.
Well, when is it? I'll go represent you.
Yeah, you just hit Dan up. You know Dan.
Yeah, I'll hit up Dan.
I
I already pitched him me doing voices for it, but I'm assuming it's already been recorded and all that stuff.
Yeah. He's
I came in late on the pitch for
maybe
that
so.
one.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome, man. I'm super. But anyway, I can't go to the premiere, so I filmed some stuff for it. So hopefully that all comes out good. But I'm gonna be on an Alaskan cruise with my Disney cruise with my family, and you know how my vacations work. It's like multiple families who work their whole schedule around what I'm doing.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not canceling this.
Yeah, I know you can't cancel that.
Mm-mm.
Well, and are you back as as one of the voices on the show too.
Yeah, Love Handle, the lead
Love
singer
Handle,
of
yeah.
I'm Danny from Love Handle's back, and a really big part of the initial push as well. So we've got some cool surprises coming up at Bowling for Soup shows, and they've just been really welcoming of us, and Love Handle just tests really well. People love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big part of the relaunch and stuff. So
Well, that's not your only voiceover work though. So I think a lot of
yeah,
people also don't know one of the voices that you've been doing for over 10
yeah,
years.
15.
15 years now?
Yeah,
As of course, Chuck E. Cheese.
Charles Entertainment Cheese. Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you do music for that as well?
So I did at the
At the
beginning of
beginning,
the
okay.
thing, and then it's gone through several changes as far as like who handles the account and who's involved with what, and they're doing it in house now. They're doing a really good job. They've got like the main guy at the entertainment thing, Matt, is just super super creative, and then he's got this guy Eric, who's a local Dallas guy too. And they're writing the songs, and they're really good, man. They're doing a great job, and so I think it just makes more sense for them to do it in house because it saves them money and gives them that control or whatever. But I don't pretend to know the business at all.
No, but I mean, it's still cool that, Jaret Reddick of Bowling for Soup is the voice of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
when you first told me that, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's super cool, man. And I was just such a big Chuck E. Cheese fan as a kid. I mean, it was my favorite thing to do. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
just
I have a picture, I think, when I was like 5 at a Chuck E. Cheese.
yeah, me too.
Like
Yeah.
going to every birthday party there.
Every
Yeah.
birthday party there, and I could sit there and watch those. I watched every show that the animatronics did. Like it would be like there would be a countdown of like when the show was going to happen again, and I'd be there to watch it. And I get that that's not really the way that attention spans work these days. So it's more of animated and puppets. But yeah, man, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, well, that was part of that, and like the knowing that you were a voice in Phineas and Ferb. As to when you remember, we were in Torquay, England. I was getting to open up for Bowling for Soup,
Yeah,
and I closed the deal with Tom Arnold to be in my show Underdeveloped. And
that's right.
I ran down and asked you in the green room, like, "Will you be the narrator on the show?"
Yeah, yeah.
And then we finally got to, I got to bring you into sort of my other world of
Yeah.
acting, and everyone knows that it's you right away.
Yeah, you can't really. I mean, if you know who I am, you can't really mistake the voice. People are just if when people hear me talk in person, they're just like, "You sound exactly like you sing." I'm like, "Yeah, it's. I know. I don't know if that's good or bad."
Oh, dude, you have an amazing voice.
Oh,
Like
thank
that,
you.
the whole thing about you haven't tuned down your songs
No,
from
yeah,
the record.
yeah,
I don't know how you do it because
yeah.
no one else. I don't know too many people that still can.
We tuned a standard because we didn't know that you could even do that. So I sang "Girl, the Bad Guys Want" on morning radio for however many years, and that is so hard to sing at 5:30, 6 in the morning, especially when you went to bed at 3.
Right.
And I had no idea that that was even a thing. So yeah, I mean, knock on chair. I mean, as of right now, I'm still able to sing everything, in the key that it was recorded in, and it's I prefer it that way. Like I feel like that's just my voice just sits really well in that, just in that
Well, you've got
those
the
registers.
30 years of muscle memory.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Of sitting in that same key.
yeah. And so, I think, yeah, I think as of right now, man, I think we don't have any. There's no plans to change that.
No, you don't need to. Your voice is amazing.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
And it's like it's just I wanted to kind of cover all the multifacets that you have. So there's still more about you.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't end there because so first of all, Bowling for Soup is, does like the whole touring package. It's like every musician, including my own, our dream of like what touring would be like in a bus and with a crew and
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Mhm.
But then suddenly you did a country album under Jaret Reddick, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm not saying that just because I starred in the Drunk as It Takes.
Yeah, and one of my
video.
favorite videos I ever made, man.
But you
I was gonna say
went back to a van though.
I drove it here. Yeah, we traded in my wife's car, and I got a band van, Ford Transport, and I'm back in the van. Yeah, I've been for 3 years now.
So
Yeah.
how is that though? Like kind of delving into where Bowling for Soup started more in a van,
Yeah.
then obviously you've achieved that. But like,
Yeah.
how is that experience going to start a new project?
It's a very quick reminder of like why the van was the best times, I mean, the thing that is different is that, all of our bodies, you just hurt. I mean, when you get out to go into the gas station or whatever, everybody is moaning like, oh, just a lot of stretching and, um, but it's those riding in that van for 9 years of Bowling for Soup, having to be in the moment, it's pre iPod, so whatever we were listening to, everybody was listening to, and us being in those moments and breaking down together and stopping together and, loading up together and all of that. I mean, it really is something that not a lot of bands get to do, or have to do for that long, and I feel like it really, you know, sort of just set our relationships to be in that mode of like, hey, we're all in this together. We're gonna do this. We're gonna survive. We're gonna flourish. And it feels like that. I like being in the van with the country guys because again, it's a whole nother set of person. I mean, Rob's in both bands, and then Dave, my tour manager, of course, is always with me no matter what I do. And so I have some familiarity there, but I love all the guys that are in my country band, and we have, just as much laughter as Bowling for Soup did back in the day. Just we have a lot of bus party or van parties on the way home, and you know, um,
Oh, I remember getting to do a few shows with you, and we did the was it
Spotify game.
Spotify game? Yeah.
Yeah,
That was where I unleashed that I was a fan of Diesel Boy and started singing "Pants Are Falling Down."
yeah. That's right.
And you texted him, and he was like, "No way!"
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite bands too. And yeah, the Spotify games. We play that in my as a family, and we play it as bands. We play it. Both bands play it. And now they've made it to where on Spotify you can start a jam session, so you don't have to pass your phone around anymore. You send everybody a link, and they put their 5 songs in. And as long as you don't look at your phone, the object is everybody puts in 5 songs, and then as they play, you try and guess who played what, right? So with some people, like my guitar player Ryan or Chris Burney, it's very easy. Like they both are like, you just know instantly, like, okay, that's Chris, or that's, but sometimes it can get really hard because Gary and I have very similar music tastes, and then
So they don't know if it's you or Gary.
right. So people,
Which Bowling for Soup member played this song?
yeah, right, yeah,
From the Descendants.
exactly. Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so again, it keeps everybody engaged and talking and writing and then talking about the music and so yeah, I don't mind the van. It's the other good thing about it is when you're in the van, you get hotels, and Bowling for Soup, we don't get hotels,
Right.
so we sleep in the bus, which is fine, and I do like that. But
As long as the venue has a shower.
as long as the venue has a shower. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but anymore now, like the band, we go to the gym at the driver's hotel every day. And so if the venue doesn't have a shower, then if we're really in need, then a lot of times the gym will have one, or we'll just get a shower room.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is kind of par for the course of my experience, being that, I am in both worlds of like movies and music.
Yeah.
In the movie side of things, there's a lot of egos. Now,
Oh,
granted, like,
right.
the cast of Rookie of the Year was amazing. The cast of American Pie is great. I'm not saying the people that I've worked with, although I'm not going to name names. I've worked with some people that have some crazy egos. But you talking about the van proves my point that, like, most of the time, musicians and rock stars like yourself
Yeah.
don't have an ego because they've at one time or another
Mhm.
lugged an 8x10 bass cabinet up a flight of stairs.
100% in the rain, and the stairs made of metal.
Right.
Yes, and I will 100% back you on that. It is rare to find ego in my line of work
Yeah.
as far as the bands are concerned. Where you experience it is a lot of times in crew guys, because they're paid to act that way. And you have to always, somebody be like, "Oh, this guy's such a dick," whatever. And you got to be like, "Listen, you do understand that's his job. Like his job is to go get you to get that band those things, and it's all on paper. Like we want this. So if he's out and he's being aggressive about it, again, maybe he's having a bad day, but he's trying to do his job.
Yeah.
You know, and I do believe, and you know this about my Bowling for Soup, like rule number one, when we go into a place, by the time we leave there, I want every single person that works at that venue going, I can't wait till they come back. That's my favorite band that's ever been here. And
Right.
not even just musically, the way that we treat people, the way that we help people. Edo fixes their PA for them. I mean, Ian has like fixed electrical problems at
Right.
venues, and you know, Rial's the same way.
Well,
Like a mad
you have
scientist.
the best crew
just ever, right?
and they're beyond your crew. They're your family.
They're
They've
our
been
family.
with you forever.
I was just talking to somebody about this at the Daytona show. Our crew are treated like family. They're as much of the band as I am. Everything takes everybody on that bus. It takes to make the show happen, to make the day run, to do all that. And so they're treated the same. So like if you invite us and you go, hey, do you guys want to go get barbecue on your day off or whatever? And, you know, I'll come by and pick you up. Well, do you have room for 11? Because there's 11 of us, you know? I mean, and if you can't, that's fine. Thank you for the offer, but we're going to stick together because this is our family.
Your family, yeah.
And sometimes they'll find another Suburban or whatever and come get us, you know, and sometimes they don't, and that's fine.
Yeah, well, you guys have been through the ups and downs, which sort of leads me into the beginning of my segments.
Okay.
Fantastic failures. So
Yeah.
hopefully you've had some time to stew on it. I will stall for you right now and tell you mine while you think of yours.
Okay.
I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that my fantastic failure is the failure of first saying no to doing your podcast. I know it's not going on anymore, but Jaret Goes to the Movies ran for a long time.
That's right.
And so I initially got asked to do that. I was busy doing promo for Lionsgate for my film Adverse. They didn't want me doing nostalgia stuff. So I said no because I didn't want to talk about American Pie.
That's right.
During that time. The message didn't come through right
It
to you.
didn't translate.
No, it just is. He doesn't want to talk about American Pie.
He doesn't want to talk about anything in the past, only new stuff that he's doing. He wants to talk about this new movie or his music or whatever. And I'm like, well, we're not going to watch it. That's not what this show does.
Right.
We're not going to watch his new movie. Like
No.
we want to watch American Pie.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously that was a complete failure on my part. And especially considering that I was so stoked that I finally had this opportunity to meet you, since both of us had been told for years how much we were going to like the other person.
Totally.
And then here I am at my first opportunity and I blow it.
Well, and not to mention, I do consider myself nice to my detriment, but if you in a situation like that, I will fuck with you.
Oh no, you did.
And I did. Yeah. And so
because you guys went and watched American Pie without me.
That's right. And I told the whole story and I just kept coming back with it. Yeah, but he's working on his new stuff, so you know, whatever. You know, but
But so the fantastic element is, had I, said yes and we did that, I mean, who knows what would have happened.
Right.
But
Yeah.
because it didn't, I ended up getting that gig at Lava Cantina. And the owner, Ian, said, hey, do you want to do this live podcast and watch American Pie? I have a friend who has this movie podcast. And it turned out the friend was you.
That's right.
Because Lava Cantina is here in Dallas.
Yes.
So then, of course, you didn't believe it.
I go, no, there's no way he wants to do this because he goes, man, I'm telling you, I have the contract right. Because what had happened was he had hooked up with your promoter for your Comic-Con stuff.
Right.
And so that's how I was getting all these people. That's how I got like the Mallrats crew. And that's how I originally that's how I got BAM. And I got, whatever. That's how I got you though, was because he was just like, yeah, we can get him for, whatever. And I'm like, well, that's worth it. Let's just do it.
Right. So we did a live.
So the way that I did it back then was, we don't do that show anymore, but we would watch 20 minutes of the movie, pause, and I would interview you. We'd watch 20 more minutes, we'd pause, and I'd interview you. And it was a cool format.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so what I'm saying is that the fantastic part was getting to do that in person. Then we talked, we hit it off.
Yeah.
I did the Rockstar Dad show.
Did the Rockstar Dad show to promote it.
Right.
And the way that happened is super interesting too, because we didn't really follow each other on social media till this got booked. And then I started following you, and then you and your son riding around in a golf cart. And I'm like, oh shit, he's a dad. Let's get him on Rockstar Dad show to promote this event. And then we like really hit it off.
Yeah.
And then
we did the show, and I had said, oh, can we play a live acoustic set afterward.
That's right.
And that's when you jokingly in all the nostalgia forms said, oh, we should sing lyrics about American Pie. Well, you stopped halfway, like you did the first verse, first chorus of 1985.
Right.
And then you're like, we should sing lyrics about American Pie. We tried it, failed miserably.
Disaster.
But that one was the inspiration for the parody. So
Yeah.
look at all the things that
I know,
happened
yeah.
out of this failure. So that's why
And
I call it.
that became your first viral TikTok video too.
Yes, when I later was opening for you and Rob in Baltimore.
That's right.
Well, you had said after I sent you all the lyrics, you're like, oh, that'd be a funny TikTok.
Yeah.
But we're so busy and touring. And then we
Yeah.
randomly were in Baltimore at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, forget it. I'm just going to do it. So just in my hotel room, threw it 500,000 plays. And that's when you invited me to your studio in Dallas to like ramp it up, which you did. You see, then you put the same thing like you did with 1985. You came in, swooped on the lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's so much better. Like your additions to it.
Well, I love it. I love hearing that song. You know, it's cool to be a part of something like that. You know, like it sort of like makes me feel like I'm like a part of American Pie now, you know, like because we wrote that song, you know, and just in hearing you talk about it. And I think about it all the time. And it's crazy now because you see those actors and you're like, oh, wow, we put that, you know, because Jess has that Poker Face show now.
Right.
I mean, and it's massive. It's
she's
100%
doing well.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
I mean, that season
she's
2,
slaying it right now.
killing it. So, and who'd have thunk, right? Yeah, like, I mean, or would you that's a question for you. Like those that have gone on to have like massive careers from that show, like, could you feel that? Or did it sort of seem like,
I mean, it's wild because some of the smallest roles have done some of the biggest things, like John Cho as MILF guy number 2 goes on to be in the Star Trek franchise.
Yeah.
Like, would I have ever guessed that? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I love John. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for him, but I couldn't have like told you that.
No.
That was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Pretty weird, man.
Yeah. So like that's a you know, that was my fantastic failure. Have you had a chance to think of a failure that happened that you were bummed about, but then it ended up working out for the best?
Yeah. I think this qualifies. This is my biggest one. And so this is the story I'm going to tell. I hope that it qualifies, but, so.
Well, this is the first time the segment exists. So whatever you do becomes the qualification.
Okay, good. Well, then, so I'm thinning it out for you a little bit, future guests. I got this call from this guy at Disney, and he was like, hey, there's this new show. It just got greenlit. They'd really like to have a meeting with you about doing the theme song. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. You know, and his name's Jay Stutler. He's still there, still head of, I don't know, big wig in Disney, and one of the nicest dudes you could ever meet, you know, like, and so he flies in to see us at South by Southwest. We're doing this DirecTV live thing. Show ends badly in that our drum tech at the time had worn a red shirt, and the president of DirecTV is trying to like get him off of the stage because a red shirt, it's blowing every time they're trying to show Gary, like the red shirt is just like, you know.
Yeah, it's bad for camera.
Bad for camera. And he just keeps trying to get him. So we walk off stage that night, and it's evening. We played another show that night, but we walk off stage and our tour manager's like, well, Greg just punched the president of DirecTV in the face. And it's like, okay. And I'm like supposed to go have this meeting with the guy from Disney. And it's just like, man, we don't know if he's going to jail or like if the show's even going to air or what's going to happen. Side note, everything ends up being okay. I bought a really nice pair of boxing gloves, and we all autographed them and sent them to the president of DirecTV. And apparently they're still in his office at home. And so, but anyway, that meeting went okay. And so he was like, we want to fly you out to have this meeting with these show creators. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And so I fly out there. But part of the story that I wasn't tremendously serious about it because I had already been told no so many times. Like I had Jimmy Neutron and we had done, as you said, all these other films and stuff, but I'd gotten the chance to do themes and stuff like that. And then you do all this work and then the show doesn't get picked up and that's just all gone. And you're doing it all on spec. And sometimes, you spend a lot of time on these things and it's, and you fall in love with it. You're like, man, this is so great. Like, how could it not work? And it doesn't work. And so I go out the night before to see Steel Panther at the Key Club. So, and this was back when they were they owned the Sunset Strip,
Yeah.
at the Key Club, and it was a big night. And I woke up the next day, and I was so hungover. I mean, I was hating life. And my phone rings, and it's my manager, and he just goes, "Hey, the car's there to get you." And I just go, "I'm just not gonna go." I'm just, it's fine. The show's not going to get picked up anyway. Right? So this is my fail, right? Like, I'm just like at this point, I could have said no and my life would be different now. But instead, my manager, who never tells me to do anything, by the way, like ordinarily he would go, "Not a big deal. We'll make it go away." He goes, "Go get in the car and go to the Disney lot or whatever." And so I went there and I was greeted by Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh from the show Phineas and Ferb. And our conversation started with me signing a stack of CD. Dan had every single Bowling for Soup CD up until that point. And we went and we had lunch and I found out that you could swear on the Disney lot. I was really excited to be able to not have to watch my mouth, And then we went into a conference room and I saw a few episodes and then so they were like, "Here's our plan. We have this theme song. We already know we want you to do the theme. We want Bowling for Soup to do it. But do you think you can take this theme song and make it into like a 3.5-minute song that's like a single, like make it to where we can make a video for it and promote and do that?" And I sure can. Also, we hear you're a voice actor and you're doing this, right? So would you want to read for a part? I sure would. In the studio we go, and I read for Swampy, the drummer of Love Handle, but I get cast as the singer for Love Handle. And then that starts to relate. So I write the song in the limo ride back to the hotel, send them the thing. They make a couple of suggestions and changes. That's done. And then I get an open invite then to come in and write songs anytime I want. At this time, they are sharing an office and they have one secretary. 6 months later, they had half that floor. A year later, they had 2 floors, and then within 3 years, they had built them their own. Phineas and Ferb had its own building, and I have been involved in that show since the day that it started, and I almost didn't go.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Let that be a lesson to you. Success is showing up.
You got to show
up. Thank God you showed up.
I know. Yeah, I know. And it's again, my life would be, that show is so big for us. I mean, and for me, being a dad and, you meet, your kids' friends' parents and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" "I'm a musician." "Oh, Bowling for Soup." "Oh, Stacy's mom." Yeah. And you're like, "Yes." But seriously, they'll be like, "Yeah, oh, would I have heard anything?" And I can go, "Oh, we do 1985. And I think I know that song. We're on Phineas and Ferb." "Oh my God, that's my favorite show my kids watch." Yeah, just today, I swear to God, this is true. Today, Cone from Sum 41 hit me up and he goes, and I can't believe he doesn't know this. I've known them for 25 years. And he goes, "Do you sing Phineas and Ferb?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I knew that was you or somebody that sounded like you, but
have they never seen you on stage go, "Hey, we're about to play our biggest song"?
I know,
there's 104 days of summer vacation.
Yeah, maybe not. But but yeah, man. I mean, you're right. I mean, again, my life would be totally different without that.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a big part of our show, a big part of our existence. I mean, it definitely helps to, it's definitely a big part of our resume as Bowling for Soup, and for me as a quote unquote actor and just a part of the million things that I do.
Yeah. We covered. I think we did a good job of covering at least 80% of them.
Yeah, I remember that I cut back during COVID. I stopped. producing. In fact, yours is one of the only things that I've like worked on for other people in a long time. Stopped directing videos.
Are you talking about underdeveloped or
No. When I was doing writing with you and then
Oh.
recording you and stuff like that, I
Yeah,
don't do that anymore with other people.
Oh, you mean like writing my title track for my 7th album?
Yeah.
Like the best song that I have out of 100 songs I've
God,
released?
I love that song so much.
Yeah, you're going to come out of retirement one more time for me at some point.
I would for you. But again, yeah, I would for you. But I was still managing bands, and I'm done with that. I'm done with, I end up just directing my own videos, and so that's enough for my creative outlet. Like I don't want to direct anybody else's videos
Right.
and stuff like that. So a lot of things that I used to do that I don't anymore.
Fair. All right. So last segment question for you.
Okay.
This is the potential for our spinoff. I know you're, truncating down onto the things that you're doing. There's no timeline on when we're going to do this podcast,
Right,
but the
right.
what the hell is wrong with me
Yeah.
segment is a chance that whenever we decide, whether it's, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever.
Yeah, that's going to be our show.
That's going to be our show.
Well, you got to calm down too. I've seen your tour dates for 2025, bro, and it looks like Bowling for Soup in 2007.
Well, I'm trying to follow in your footsteps. I think, have we not established that
Yeah.
during this entire podcast that I am following in the footsteps of Jaret Reddick and
You are
Bowling for Soup?
You're a busy, busy man, and I'm glad that it's paying off, man. You talk about hustle. You're a hustler, man, and it's for those of you who don't know this about him. He tours, and touring with a band is very expensive. So you just figure out a way to form bands in various countries and parts of the country, and in
parts of the world.
Great.
Yeah,
Works out
I'm going to
great.
do a tour. I think back. I can't talk about it yet, but if it comes together, it'll be in Australia again. It's in 5 cities, and I'm gonna just fly myself to each city and find a band in each of the 5 cities.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, one of the best I've heard you is with emo kids in Vegas. I mean, they put the work in.
Right.
They sounded great. You guys also. I mean, they learned all your harmonies and all that stuff, man. It was cool.
They were killer.
Yeah, it was cool. Well, I like when you play with Zach too, because Zach's one of my favorite buds.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of, see, that's the cool thing for me is being a solo artist and getting to form, I guess, like at this point, 12 different renditions of my band.
Yeah.
Then I get to hang with different people and they have different groups of friends. So it kind of expands, my sort of network of friends and things.
Oh, and Taylor, your producer,
Yeah.
who plays drums for you sometimes, and he's the drummer for Lit, and man, he hits hard.
He does hit really hard.
I got to tell you something about him. We just played in Daytona, Florida, with them, Rockville. Welcome to Rockville thing, and they played it.
He broke everything on the drum set twice. I saw a post.
Well,
Is that what
it's not even that. It's those guys look like rock stars everywhere they go, and no matter what, right? And so in 100-degree total humidity, he played drums in freaking black skinny jeans and Doc Martens. And it's just like, you don't have to do that. They can't see the bottom half of you back here, And he's just like, I don't know why I do this. I'm crazy. But and Jeremy had on a leather vest, and I'm like, man, you guys will do anything to look like, but they do look cool.
They do look pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. So the What the Hell is Wrong with Me, the show that we initially wanted to start.
Yeah.
I was telling you, which I still am a hoarder. My garage still looks like the end of Indiana Jones, where they put the Ark of the Covenant and they file it through.
Yeah.
There's pathways in my garage. It's a 3-car garage, and
Yeah.
it is filled to the brim with stuff that I haven't opened or needed for 2.5 years now.
I know.
I need to cull it and just get rid of stuff.
It does feel good to start throwing stuff away. We
Yeah.
just recently started doing that.
I got to do it. So it's hard because I open up a box and then I have a memory
I know.
and then I can't get rid of that thing.
You're supposed to take pictures of it, and because it's like I have drumsticks from high school marching band. When am I going to ever do this? And I started following all these clutter people on Instagram and TikTok, and it is helpful because they just flat out tell you your kids don't want this shit. You think, okay, I'll keep all of these things, and then eventually my children will want it. They're going to fight over this. They don't want it.
Right.
They don't, and it's just like, my grandmother died or whatever. My mom was just like, do you guys want, I don't want anything. I you know what I mean? Like the last 2 times I was there, she gave me some pictures and shit. That's enough. I don't need, anything else.
The
you know.
tchotchke from
Yeah,
25
right?
years ago. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we just walked my this sucks, but Gary Price, who you've met, Gary and Michelle, my friends, and his mother recently passed, and they just have all of her stuff in the garage, and so we let them have a lot of our graduation party decorations. And so Michelle's going, well, could we repay you with a spoon or a bell from various travels across the United States? Whatever. And it's just like, we're good, man. We're good.
So it sounds like the what the hell is wrong with me? We just conjoined on hoarding.
Hoarding is bad. I've gotten better about it. I'm going to tell you my thing is procrastinating on creative things because I think everything's going to take way longer than it does. So like someone will try to get me to sing on a feature or whatever. And I'll just be like, man, I saw a comedian, or maybe it was a meme or whatever, but it's just like, I said no to 25 things that would have taken me 10 minutes because I have a meeting at 3:00 on a Monday, and it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh yeah, I can't go sing that song right now because I have something to do at 2, and I've just gotten so bad about that. And so I really, really want to try and break that. I don't really know how,
Well, I think you're on your way because you showed up today.
I did. Yeah, I did. I would do anything for you, man. You know that.
Well, the same goes to you, Jaret.
I know that. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna leave this here. Thank you so much for being my first guest.
Yeah. Well, thank you for picking a place so awesomely located.
Oh yeah, this is how we do. We find where it's convenient.
I love it.